Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Monday, February the 3rd. The year's 2020. Let's talk trading. No more bets. Let's see. Friday night, I happened to have dinner at the Indian casino near where I live. Well, it's about 50 miles from where I live. And on my way out, I was passing through the gambling hall, all the video poker machines. And you can sit down and play blackjack. And there was the crap tables, but then there was the roulette table. And I happen to like roulette. Now, I have a couple of systems that I employ when I play roulette. So I looked at the board and I saw the last three spins had landed in the number three column. At the top, you have the number one column, the number two column, the number three column. So when I see that, I'm thinking the wheel is tilted, even though I know it's not. So I put $10 down. That was how much I was willing to risk. And I asked for two $5 chips. So I put a $5 chip in the two column and a $5 chip in the three column. So everybody else was placing their bets, and the dealer spun the ball, and then she said, no more bets. And so everybody's sitting there waiting around to see where the ball drops. Well, it dropped in the number three. And so you have to wait. She put the marker on the number three, and then she cleared off all the losing chips. There was only one chip, and it was my chip that was in the number three column. There that paid 2-1. So she put down two more $5 chips, so I had $15. Then she picked up the marker. Once she picks up the marker, now it's time you can collect your winnings. So I collected my winnings, went to the cashier's window and cashed them in and left. What's that got to do with trading? Well, you see, it has a whole lot to do with trading. Number one, in trading, we all have a system. And like I said, I have two. So I employed my first system. And that's the one I used. And then in trading, we all have what we call a stop loss, okay, or risk, how much we're willing to lose per trade. So once again, I was willing to lose $10. That's the risk. Now on the money management side, if I won, I'm going to walk away. I just made 50% profit on my money. Yeah, it was only $5, but if it would have, sometimes I might bet 25 or 100. I've done that before. But the point is, I just want to walk away a winner. That's my money management. Now, what does that have to do with trading? Once again, it's everything. You see, no matter what system I employ or what statistics I use, I don't know the outcome of that spin. Just like you don't know the outcome of the trade that you just entered. You can't tell me the outcome. And once you enter the trade, just like once I put my money down and the dealer says no more bets, there's nothing that I can do to influence the outcome of my trade. Nothing. Or of my bet. So there's a lot of similarities between trading and gambling, betting. Now, the one big difference is with trading, you decide what time to enter and what time to exit. I mean, it's like it's one continuous game per se, as opposed to discrete spins of the wheel. But the thing is, you can learn those, you can use those same skills in trading as you do in gambling. And so that's what I want to tell you. But see, the important thing is that in this little story is that I recognized something on the board. I recognized that tilt of the wheel, tilt in quotes. So I employed my system that takes advantage of that, knowing that it could have come up in the number one column. It could have come up on the greens, the zero or double zero, and I would have lost $10. but I was perfectly okay with that. I didn't hesitate. I just put my money down, money chips, please, 2 5s, and I placed it. Now, and that's what you have to do. When you see everything line up or tilt according to your system when you trade, just enter the trade. You've already established your position size and where your stop loss is, at least you better have. And you should have some idea of how you're going to start taking profit, whether it's all at once or a little bit along the way, or you might even want to add to it. And if it keeps going your way, you'll make that much more money. So that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. And just remember one thing, boys and girls, fellow traders, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. In fact, they may vastly differ from mine. And that trading is risky and you can lose all of your money. So if you're seeking financial advice, trading advice, investment advice, seek it from an accredited financial professional, somebody with a certificate on the wall, framed behind glass, stating that they're a accredited financial professional. That way, if you get your advice from them or let them manage your money and you wind up losing money, you know you got your advice from an accredited financial professional rather than some guy with a funny name making YouTube videos, posting on the internet in various forums, or in emails you receive saying, hey, you too can be rich trading Forex market. Okay. Here you go. Not all gaps have filled. There's still opportunities here. A lot of the pound pairs showing opportunities to fill a gap. You can see here off the weekly open that they're definitely down. They're definitely taking a hit. It must be the Brexit, right? And let's see, the euro is 32 pips off the weekly open. Zooming out big picture, we see dollar yen is now only 9 pips below the yearly open, and at one time today, it actually got above the yearly open. So look for some more movement to the upside. Once again, if you look here at these wicks, you see here what happened and prices moving upward. Here's that open there, price crossed that open, and price also, why is my cursor so slow? You see here price crossed above that open. So sometimes you can look at old open lines, or like right here, here's some open lines here. You can see here how price comes through and then comes back across those opens. Usually we talk about highs and lows, but opens sometime too, such as in the highest open, lowest open trade. Now, we are still in the opening range of the first trading day of the year here. Still need to break out of that range, so long trigger 86 and a short trigger 0.20. And on the weekly buy zone here, you can see price dipped back down a few hours ago, given another opportunity. And as you can see, once again, price has the range. And right now, 48 on the day. Average for a month is 292. And we also exited across the top of that inside bar, up 15 pips at the moment. On the daily, we've got 10 pairs over 100. Lots of movement in range. Here we got the pound Australian over 300. The beast, the pound New Zealand over 300. A lot of movement, a lot of opportunity there. In fact, let's just bring up that pound New Zealand. Notice what happened here. It was going up, didn't make a new high, started coming down through that open. And if you shorted off the open, you're 242, 241 to the good. Once again, simple horizontal line trades. Seeing here, once again, cut through. Let's see, See that wick right there, the top of that right there. You see this wick here, it fell right there. You see where those numbers line up? It's simple. You can do this, but remember, your results may differ from mine. I'm not sure why this computer's taking such a long time. Okay, here we go. That H1 lowest open, we haven't come near it. We just put in a highest open 2 hours ago, and we'll see what happens off of that. We took out the pivot. I mentioned pivots yesterday. Rat zone. Let's see. Red rats have feasted once, and looks like you might be able to get ready to feast again. As far as the pivots, we called these pivots out yesterday or last night, well, which was yesterday, early in the day if you're still in Europe. But 0.63 was the weekly, 0.75 was the monthly. We took out both pivots on the first trading day of the month, first trading day of the week. We took out the weekly pivot. Once again, your results may differ from mine, but this is what we look for. Why? Statistics. You can see we took out that pivot right there on the weekly. We took out the pivot. Have a missed pivot from last week and still have a partial gap. It's probably like a point. And as I mentioned yesterday, price does not like to stay between the lines. We opened between 30 and 40, and price had to leave. It's 40, was it 48 pip range? It can't, 48 pips doesn't fit inside a 10. 20 doesn't fit inside a 10. 9 fits inside a 10. But the average range and frequency distributions tells me that price isn't going to stay there. It's just not. So use that knowledge to your advantages. I showed you yesterday in and out of the wick zone, crossing above the previous month's open and back through it. Once again, these are levels that you can look to take profit or look to reverse. Einstein line, when I opened it, there was a short. Then you see here, it failed to make a new low. Started coming back up through that wick zone on the 1 minute. Right there. Just take the profit. As you can see here, it's signaling along. And as far as range, looks like we have about 6 pip movement here from that low coming up. Now, ATR, you can see the power here. It almost hit the zone, started to retrace at the weekly open plus half of the ATR2. That would have been a nice place to profit or start to take a reversal trade, proving to be profitable once again. So far, the range for the day and week is 48 pips. So you see, boys and girls, it's not that difficult. Higher high, higher. We got the lower lows here on the euro. We've got higher highs on the week and the day. And on the new beast, oh, there's the British pound. But right here on the new beast, we got a lower low on the day, along with the lower high. And as you can see here at the daily level, there's it's taken out all those lows. So it has a way to take out this high, but we can always switch back to H1. And you can see here, needs to take out the 67 or the 55 in the expansion, meaning price is going to move. Those are places you could either look for a reversal or take the breakout. So, fellow traders, just remember, no more bets, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Drain the banks. Oh, and by the way, remember to click subscribe and like and share the video.